Now, a former High Court judge has said that pop-up courts could cut criminal case backlogs and line up with community and justice.
Yeah, those pop-up courts could appear in your local pub, theoretically. Well, Dame Anne Rafferty thinks judges of all types could sit in pubs, in church halls and libraries to reconnect the justice system with local communities.
Well, why don't we ask a pub owner what he thinks about it? We're delighted to be joined now by City Pub Group founder Clive Watson. Clive, how would you feel, and perhaps how would those who visit your pub feel if it suddenly turned into a courtroom?
Well, I mean, obviously you've got to pick times when the pub's not going to be busy, obviously during the day. But, yeah, I think it's a really good idea. I think pubs are part of the community. I think law courts aren't part of the community, and I think we can join the two together. So I think it's a good idea.
Do you think it would in any way trivialise the whole court system, though? Because, you know, there is a certain, what's the word I'm looking for?
Gravitas.
Yeah, there's a gravitas to a courtroom, to a coroner's court that just simply wouldn't be there in a pub or in a library.
Well, look, I think you'd have to pick a pub that had a separate meeting room or something like that. I don't think it'd be appropriate if you had beer pumps behind it or a darts board or a juke machine. But I think if you had as I said, a separate room where people could go in, it felt very accessible, then I think that would definitely work, yes.
I don't know, there's a pub near where I grew up that had a light-up dance floor. It could go different colours depending if someone was found guilty or innocent. I think that would be a brilliant idea. But Clive, this isn't the first time that pubs have been used as courtrooms. There was the Stag and Hounds in Bristol. I've written a Y when I should have written a G. The Stag and Hounds in Bristol that was used as a pie powder court as recently as the 1800s.
Now we just need to explain what a pie powder court is, Tom. It was organised by a borough when there was a fair or market taking place, and it had unlimited jurisdiction, apparently, over personal actions or events that took place at the market. So that could be arguments between merchants, theft and acts of violence. Carry on.
Yeah, so not the first time it's happened.
Well, look, there you are. You've got historical precedent that justice has been administered inside a public house. I think more people would turn up to the court hearings. I think when you go and look at some gloomy magistrates' courts, all very Victorian, it puts people off. They walk up to the steps and think, I don't actually want to be here. Whereas I think if you're a defendant or whatever the situation is, and you're going to a pub, you'd actually get more people turning up.
How would it actually work? Would pubs be paid for using their premises? I mean, could it be a little extra money earner for you? Absolutely.
Yeah, why not? I mean, we're providing a public service. People will come in. Who knows? We might even get some extra custom if it's the defendant's successful and he goes with his friends and has a quick beer afterwards. So, but I think being slightly serious about it, yeah, why not? Why not change, make justice more accessible, make it normalise the proceedings of justice and have it in a pub or a church or a village hall. I think that would be a really good idea.
Is there not a risk here, though, that this winds up like many hotels have wound up, sort of requisitioned by the government, the owners of the establishments having no ability to trade as normal, and sort of seeing your business taken away from you? Is that not a real risk here?
Well, I don't think it would be a question of requisition. I think it would be, yes, we have suitable parts of the pub which are quiet during the day, which we're happy for you to use for your court proceedings. So I don't think the government could say, look, we're having this pub at those hours, those court hearings, whether you like it or not. So it's got to be, obviously, work for the pub as well.
It would have to be, wouldn't it, for certain offences, sort of summary offences that are heard in the magistrates' court. I mean, especially when you think of the logistics. You couldn't bring a defendant in handcuffs to a pub, could you? But you could, prosecute somebody maybe for a driving offence.
For a driving offence.
Oh, very good, very good. No, of course, it'd have to be for non-high profile cases, as you say, not dragging people out of cells or something like that. But, what I call the lower end of the justice system, I think it would be absolutely perfect. speed up the cases, more and more people will turn up. I think also the JPs and the magistrates would quite fancy a change. Might actually improve their sort of working life. So, yeah, I think it's ticks all round.
What would they do? Sit behind the bar to deliver their verdict? Behind the bar on stools?
Well, you'd have to have the judge on a stool, and you could have the jury on the lower chairs, perhaps, or on the soft bits at the side of the pub. You could, yeah, I can imagine.
I don't know. It's an image. It is an image I'm struggling with. I can see it more in a library.
You've made it. Well, libraries, I think it's got to be in silence. So I think that'll be a bit difficult unless it's silent justice. But I think you made a good point. Juries, I'm sure a lot of people, as soon as they get asked to do jury service, are probably thinking, "Oh, do I really need to do this?" But if it's going to be held in a pub, makes it a bit more interesting. So, as I said, that's a really good point as well.
Well, thank you very much, Clive Watson, the founder of the City Pub Group. Really appreciate your thoughts on this topic. It would be very interesting to see if it actually does.
If it comes off, yeah.